Tax the rich. It is the ultimate political cheat code. It sounds clean, it sounds fair, and let's be honest, it sounds like a victimless crime. Every single election cycle, we are told the exact same story. If we just hike the tax rates on the top 1%, we can magically fund healthcare, fix every crumbling road, and balance the budget, all without it costing you a single dime. But there is a massive systemic flaw in this logic. In the real world of economics, the person who physically signs the check to the government is almost never the person who actually carries the financial burden. While it looks like the state is raiding billionaire boardrooms, the cash is quietly being drained from your pocket. Because when you try to force the ultra-wealthy to pay up, they don't get mad, they get even. And the hot potato always lands on the people at the bottom. Act 1. The hot potato rule. To understand why this happens, you have to look at a concept economists call tax incidence. Now, that sounds like boring academic jargon, but it is actually the most dangerous mechanism in modern finance. It is the study of who actually bears the weight of a tax, regardless of who the law says is supposed to pay it. Think of a new corporate tax like a game of economic hot potato. Imagine a massive multinational company gets hit with a brand new, multi-million-dollar tax bill. The politicians throw the hot potato directly into the CEO's lap. What does the CEO do? Does he look at his personal luxury yacht budget and say, "Oh well, guess I'll just take a massive loss this year to help out the state"? Of course not. He opens up his financial sheets and passes the potato down the supply chain to people who don't have the power to throw it back. First, he passes it to the consumer. The company raises prices on everyday goods, your groceries, your streaming subscriptions, your gas, to completely offset the new tax expense. If that isn't enough, he passes it to the worker. The company freezes hiring, slashes year-end bonuses, or slows down wage increases for the middle class. And if that still isn't enough, he pulls the third lever, cutting back on local investments, canceling new factory builds, and shrinking the business. When you slap a heavy tax on a corporation, it doesn't hurt the billionaire at the top. It behaves exactly like a hidden sales tax on the working class. The rich aren't paying it. You are paying it every time you check out at a store or see your wages stagnate. Act 2. The Great Escape. But what happens if a government gets aggressive? What if they bypass corporations entirely and tax a billionaire's personal net worth? Well, history has a brutal reality check for us, and we don't have to guess how it ends because Norway just tried it. In late 2022, Norway's government decided to squeeze the wealthy by hiking its annual wealth tax rate to 1.1%. On paper, it seemed like a minor tweak designed to make the ultra-wealthy finally pay their fair share. The government predicted they would easily rake in hundreds of millions of dollars in new, effortless revenue. Instead, they triggered a historic domestic exodus. Billionaires and multimillionaires didn't stick around to complain. They packed their bags, liquidated what they could, and moved to Switzerland. Over 300 ultra-wealthy individuals left the country in a matter of months. And here is the punchline. Because Norway's tax was levied on unrealized wealth, meaning the estimated value of their companies, not actual cash sitting in a bank account, these founders were literally forced to drain capital out of their domestic businesses just to hand it over to the state. By trying to bleed the rich, Norway ended up losing over $3 billion in active private investments, future startup innovation, and long-term tax revenue. The rich didn't pay the tax. They just changed their zip code. Act 3. The Capital Trap. This brings us to the core trap of the modern economy. Capital is fluid, but labor is stuck. If you are a billionaire, your wealth is entirely weightless. It exists in stock portfolios, international holding companies, and global real estate trusts. If a local government becomes too hostile, you can move hundreds of millions of dollars across the planet with a single click of a mouse. But if you are an average retail worker, a factory manager, a plumber, or a local engineer, you can't easily pack up your family, change your citizenship, and relocate your entire life to a low tax haven over a weekend. You are tied to the dirt of your local economy. When emotional, short-sighted political policies drive investment capital out of a country, productivity drops. When productivity drops, local businesses shrink, fewer jobs are created, and wages plummet. The wealthy escape the trap. The working class is locked inside it. A better way forward. The solution here isn't to stop taxing the wealthy entirely. A functioning society needs revenue. The solution is to stop falling for emotional slogans that look fantastic on a campaign billboard, but completely self-destruct when they hit reality. If we actually want to build a prosperous society that lifts up the poor, we have to design tax systems that incentivize the wealthy to keep their money inside the domestic economy, investing in local factories, funding new startups, and competing for workers, which naturally drives wages up. Because if we keep playing the emotional, tax the rich game without understanding how money actually moves, that economic hot potato is always going to land right back in your hands.